All right, thanks for that, guys. I feel like we need to head out very soon, and just before that, Andy needs to say a couple of words, and we'll welcome him back, and he'll take over. I'll see you very shortly.
All right, nice one. Cheers, mate. All right, now I want to head out as soon as possible, but first let's talk about Tier 1. I mentioned this earlier. Hands up again, who thinks they're here, Tier 1? A few people, right? So in a minute, we're going to go outside and we're going to break down exactly how to approach a girl in the daytime. But I want to talk about something really, really briefly first, and this is something that you can remember for later, anytime you're going out. And this applies when, you might be in a different tier, but when you first start you first get out there, the first part of the day, you might kind of recede back into that fear state, if you know what I'm talking about. So there's a concept I teach called state shifting, and it's very, very simple. I'll run through it really quickly. So when I say your state, I'm referring to your psychological state, which is the lens through which you filter reality. If you have one state, you will perceive the world differently than in another state. Hands up who knows what I'm talking about. A few people. The state is also like the operating system that your social programs run on. It's like if your operating system is it's the wrong one, the programs that run on it won't run properly. This is very geeky terminology. And a social program, let's say, for example, talking to girls, or let's say working at work. Let's say going to the gym. If your psychological state is all pumped up to fucking go to the gym, right? But then you got to go to write an essay, or you've got to do some Excel spreadsheets. You're not going to be able to operate very well, right? And I'll get to this in a second. If you change your state, the program runs completely differently. Same program, but it runs completely differently. So different states are suited to different things, like I just mentioned. Who's ever tried to go to bed when you're excited, when you're pumped, when you're like, fuck yeah, can't sleep, right? Who's ever tried to go to the gym when you're chill, you're in that kind of relaxed, just like vegging on the sofa kind of thing, and you think, oh fuck, I've got to go to the gym. Who's thought that, right? Who has tried to talk to a girl when you're in work mode? Right? So there's gym state. I love gym state, and the more you go to the gym, the more you get good at this. But I love it when you get into that and you get kind of pumped up and stuff, Again, work state. These are very, very different states. Work state is that focused, kind of psychological state where you are focusing on a particular task that doesn't require much communication and being social and stuff. It's just, bang, get this thing done. And again, sleep state is the opposite of work state. It's totally chill, totally relaxed. Now this is the state you need to be in to do Daygame. This is the state you need to be in to approach women. I'm not saying fun as in like a clown. I'm saying your mentality is, like, what does it mean to be in a fun state? What does it mean? Is it serious? No. Is it outcome dependent? Like, if you think when you're playing, there is no outcome. The purpose of the playing is the playing. So a lot of people don't spend much time in this place because, we work hard, we have to travel and commute to work, we've got to worry about our bills, we've got arguments with our family and things, and, this is like a luxury state that not a lot of guys get to spend in. This is the state that people get to when they get drunk at the weekends. But usually it's allocated to that particular time. You can't have fun during the day, during the week. Come on, this is serious. You've got a job to do. You've got bills to pay. You can wait for the weekend. Who's heard of the phrase, living for the weekend? Right? So it means that's why most people meet women at the weekend when they go out in nightclubs and bars and stuff, because that's when you can actually have some fun and relax, right? This is what you need to be. When you're in different states, you can believe completely different things. You might believe one thing, your state changes, and 10 minutes later, you believe something different about yourself and about the world. And that's because beliefs can be state-dependent or state-independent beliefs. As in, an independent belief, it means that you hold that belief no matter what kind of state you're in. For example, you all believe, I hope, that you are men, right? You could be in a bad mood, you could be in a good mood, right? You could be in a sleepy mood or a work mood. You're still going to probably believe that you're a man. It's a belief that isn't affected by your current state. There are beliefs that are completely dependent on how you currently feel right now, that are completely dependent on your current state. I mean, put your hand up if this isn't true, but in the last month, have you believed these two contradictory things? I'm awesome, and I suck. You guys, yeah, I'm always awesome. Or have you thought, I don't know, like I'm good at something, but at a different time you thought I suck at this thing, right? Everyone has. Everyone has had beliefs that has changed, and not that's that's black and white, yes and no. But there's our beliefs about ourselves fluctuate all the time, dependent on the current psychological state we find ourselves in, right? But the problem is people attach their identity to those state-dependent beliefs, which means that who you think you are is kind of flowing all the time, and there's nothing rigid and set about it. And one thing that's really, really attractive to women is a man who knows who he is and isn't affected by the world as much, right? So this is what I mean by state shifting. To change your state, as in, let's say you're in work state, which is what most people spend their time in, right? Serious, logical work state. And you want to be in play state. What do people do when they go out to a bar with their friends to get into that mood? What do? They don't just kind of go straight from work and just go straight to the bar. They usually kind of get into a flow, they kind of banter with their friends, and they get into it. They take these small steps. To change your state, take small steps that move you towards the desired state. Micro state versus macro state. I love all these geeky terminologies, but it's important. Micro state are the things you can do right now. The steps you can take right now to change how you think, to change your psychological state. This is where I need the microphone for you guys. Can you give me examples of things you can go out and do right now to change your psychological state?
I can change my posture.
Change your posture? What else? What can you do?
I can get up and physically move around.
Get up
Yeah.
helps. Somebody else? Anybody else? What else can you do if you want to get yourself to the point where you're feeling very playful, very kind of social?
Something I could do is watch like a comedy DVD.
That helps. I prefer you to get out there and do something other than, because you're still passive, you're still kind of watching something. I'd say that might actually...
Talk with a friend.
Talk with a friend, good. Okay, these kind of things. The micro is about pushing your social comfort zones every day. Every time you go outside, it might be talking to that barista when you get the coffee, having that brief conversation with somebody when you sit down on the bus. All these little things are going to push you to where you want to be. And when you go out there in a minute, and we've taught you how to do this, you're going to go out there, and for the guys who are in that fear state, don't worry so much about trying to do this right, about trying to get a phone number or anything. Just wherever you're at, try and push. Just lean in the direction of being a bit more social, just talking more. Open your mouth, and that's what you need to do. Just lean in that direction, and slowly and slowly and slowly, after every interaction you have with another person, you'll find yourself moving into that more social place. It will happen. Macro. Macro is the bigger life at large. If you hate your life, all of your micro work you do every day resets to 0 the next day. And you wake up, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot, I suck. My life sucks, I hate myself. And you have to go through it all again. This is what most classic pickup artistry is about. It's about changing your state so you kind of get yourself into a whirlwind of transformation in the moment based on the reactions you're getting, but really you're not working on your life and your life really sucks, and the next day you have to start all over again, right? So as well as all the stuff we're talking about, as well as all this stuff we're teaching you, if you're ignoring your life, if you're ignoring your job, your friends, your passions, all that kind of stuff, I'm going to talk about this stuff later on when we start talking about authenticity and living with authenticity. But the macro, in the long run, is just as important as the micro. Otherwise, you've got to work hard at this. You've got to work a lot harder than you should have to. to achieve that point where you don't have to worry about any of this stuff anymore, you've got to get your life sorted out as well. Make sense? Seems obvious, but a lot of guys make this. Don't think about this. So the macro is the path to self-actualization. Self-actualization is the full realization of all that you're capable of. If you reach that, I mean, it's not like a goal, it's ever evolving, but if you achieve your dreams as a man, you won't have to worry about state shifting because you step out the door and you know who the fuck you are, and that's enough. You know what I'm talking about? All right, the capture phase, capturing her interest. This is where it starts, and this is more tier 1 but tier 2. This is how to be social, how to engage a person you've just met or you've just seen. So we're going to go out on the streets and do this. We're going to go outside because we could do it here, but you know, it's a nice day. So let's go outside.